Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 doot. Subscribe.
10:13. What are we watching today?
Signs.
Signs, yay! We might replace that with Suspiria because we weren't able to watch it. Who knows what'll happen.
To further explain why we aren't watching Signs today, a few days ago we pulled out Suspiria from the Advent calendar, but on that day I was going to a wedding, so we didn't end up watching anything. So we figured we would wait for a day when we pull out a movie that we are very familiar with and replace it with Suspiria. So that's why we're not watching Signs today. We're very familiar with that movie, and that's why we're talking about Suspiria.
Okay, the new Suspiria, the one from like 2018. This is probably not the best way for me to review this because this movie, you can tell, is a lot deeper than you would want to review for a one-time watch and then just talk about it almost directly after you see it. There's a lot of layers to it. It's clear that it deserves multiple viewings and even to be, read upon. And I didn't do that. I just watched it, and here I am to talk about it. I will say the 77 one, the Argento, I saw when I was in undergrad, and I wasn't that into it. I don't remember much of it. I just remember some of the imagery, and the movie didn't really capture me or anything, but at that time, superhero movies were sort of like the only movies I was trying to watch, along with like whatever was nominated by Oscars. Still loved doing that, but I really wasn't, I don't know. When it comes to this type of horror, I wasn't digging into it, I don't know, that just like wasn't my scene, I guess. I was just more into mainstream stuff. So, me watching that, I don't know, I was at some house party and talking to a guy who was really into horror, and he's like, Suspiria, you gotta watch it. And then I found him at another house party and was like, hey, I finally watched it. I really wasn't that into it. And he's like, not a fan of Suspiria, huh? Okay. And I don't know. It just wasn't, I wasn't the right type of person to watch that yet. So I would like to go back and watch the original one, especially after watching this one, because I did really like it, but I don't know how to speak on it very well other than just talk about maybe some of the tones, the vibes, the acting, the fact that Tilda Swinton does an Eddie Murphy in this and plays multiple characters, but the makeup is so strong that you don't necessarily notice that until later. That was actually really impressive. I don't know what the budget was, but whatever was going on with the makeup with this one character, what was his name? Joseph, something like that, some old man. This is probably a spoiler. I don't know if it matters really, but Tilda Swinton is playing him, and the makeup was amazing. Like, I was like, something doesn't seem right about this guy. I feel like it's a young man with makeup on. Like, it almost looked like Johnny Knoxville's bad grandpa or whatever. And I was like, but is it? I don't know. Just kind of tossed it out of my mind. And I was like, no, that's definitely a young person. I wonder how that's going to come into play. It never really comes into play because I was like, he's going to like peel off his skin and be young or something like that. But it was just that it was Tilda Swinton. And then she plays like this other like very grotesque witch later on. And you would never know that she played that person. I only know that because my wife was like looking at IMDb and she's like, who's this person? And then, we figured it out along the way. And yeah, I don't know, the tone, the music, it was really good. Dakota, what's her name? Don Johnson's daughter. And Melanie Griffith, Dakota Johnson. Is her last name Johnson? I feel like it is. I thought she was great. I haven't watched anything else she's done that I can think of other than like The Social Network. I know she did all those Grey movies, but I didn't watch any of those. But I thought she was great here. If she, got into this like sophisticated horror scene more often, I think that would be great because she did very well in it. Tilda Swinton did very well. I think everybody did great. I don't know how to talk about this because I know it's a much deeper film than I can like describe in these moments after just watching it. There was this moment though when like at the end it starts to get like very witchy, and I feel like when it comes to the original version, that's all I really remember is just some of the witchy looking, I don't know what you call them, ceremonies, and that happens at the end of this one. And then there's this giant kill fest that happens, and a song is played. It's not a score, but a song. And I was like, why are we doing this? Is this a good idea? I'm not sure if this should be the route we go. But then as it went on, I was just like, no, this is awesome. This is great. It's unexpected, and I think it works. It was just a little jarring, but I ended up digging it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should say more, but I don't know how. So this is a terrible, awful review. But all I can say is I definitely loved it so much more than the original. But the type of person I was back then watching the original wasn't the type of person who would be into the original. So I would like to see that one again, check it out, see if I like it. I don't like when I was watching this one, it wasn't really jogging my memory or anything, so I'm assuming they are very different films, because that it just didn't. I wasn't watching this. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. It was just kind of, you know, it was like I was almost watching an entirely different film. So I don't know. Are they similar? Are they not? Let me know in the comments. Should I even go back and watch the original one? I mean, I will eventually. I don't know how soon I'll get to it. Very busy this month, but could happen. But probably not this month. Maybe I'll look for it in November, or maybe I'll put it in our Advent calendar next year. We'll see. I don't know. I feel like I'm just like rambling at this point. I know I am, but I liked it, but I want to do like some reading on it. I want to see like what I'm missing, what some of the deeper themes are, that, you know, I'm not picking up on because I really haven't let this movie marinate at all in my brain. I'm just watching and talking and not knowing what to say. So on that note, oh, it was a long movie, but I didn't feel like it was long. Like I was sitting there just fully engaged, not feeling like, hey, when's this ending? Never once. And I wouldn't say it's a fast movie or anything. It's just very engaging. So I thought that was great because I think it's like 2.5 hours long, but it doesn't feel it. Not to me. I mean, but it doesn't feel like a fast movie either. It's just like a movie, you know? When it comes to time-wise, it seems appropriate, is what I'm trying to say. But yes, on that note, perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout. Doodle 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 doot. Subscribe!